Your first mistake in prehistoric times would not be fighting a predator. It would be acting like you belong there. You wake up near a stream, thirsty, confused, and still trying to look calm for absolutely no one. The water is clear, cold, perfect, so you kneel down, drink it like some ancient warrior, and for 2 seconds you feel proud of yourself. You think, look at me. Nature provides. Then something breathes behind you. You turn slowly. 2 eyes are watching from the bushes. Your brain tries to stay positive. Maybe it is a deer, maybe it is a dog. Maybe prehistoric nature has emotional support animals. Then it growls, and your body votes before your brain can finish the meeting. You run. Not a cool movie run, not a warrior run, a panic run. Arms everywhere, mouth open, soul leaving the body. Behind you, the animal lunges, catches the back of your pants, and rips them so hard that even the tribe watching from the trees feels embarrassed for you. And just before the predator turns you into breakfast, a spear flies past your shoulder. 3 prehistoric humans rush out, shouting, carrying fire, moving like they have done this 1,000 times. One circles left. One waves the burning branch. One keeps the spear aimed straight at the animal's face. The predator backs away. You stand there shaking, muddy, half-dressed, and fully humbled. That is when you realize the truth. Prehistoric humans were not primitive. You are, because they know the water, the tracks, the animals, the plants, the weather, the sounds, and the land. You know how to check expiry dates on yogurt. And in this world, that skill is completely useless. Welcome to your first hour in prehistoric times. You are already thirsty, already embarrassed, and technically already saved by customer support that does not speak your language. The worst part is the water you drank may still betray you later. Modern people think clear water means safe water. Nature thinks that is adorable. Parasites, bacteria, animal waste, and decaying material do not always float on top-holding signs. The stream may look like a mountain advertisement and still be preparing a full criminal case against your stomach. Much later in history, Ötzi the Iceman, a 5,300-year-old mummy found in the Alps, still had whipworm eggs in his digestive tract. He lived thousands of years after the Deep Ice Age, and even his body looked like a tiny medical file of things modern people would take straight to urgent care. Now imagine you, with no medicine, no clean bathroom, no antibiotics, and no idea which plant helps diarrhea, and which plant makes you see your ancestors. By hour 2, you are not thinking about adventure anymore. You are thinking about food. And this is where modern confidence becomes dangerous again, because modern hunger is fake hunger. Modern hunger means you open the fridge, stare at food, close it, open a delivery app, and say, there is nothing to eat. Prehistoric hunger means the land either gives you calories, or your body starts using itself as a backup plan. You see berries on a bush. Beautiful berries. Red berries. Cute berries. The kind of berries that would look amazing in a health commercial with slow music and a woman smiling at the sun. You pick one. A prehistoric woman slaps it out of your hand so fast your whole bloodline feels it. You look offended. She looks terrified. Then she points at the berries, points at your mouth, then points at the ground and closes her eyes like a dead person. You do not speak her language, but you understand the review. For 1 second you lock eyes with her like this is a Hollywood love scene. Wind blowing, berries falling, slow motion, full Titanic energy. Then a man twice your size walks into frame with a spear, and suddenly the genre changes from romance to run. Brother, run. And just like that, your first prehistoric love story ends before it begins. The berry is still on the ground, your stomach is still empty. And now you have learned lesson number 2. In this world, even lunch needs local permission. This is the problem with prehistoric food. Nothing has a label, no ingredients list, no allergy warning, no may contain nuts, no smiling cartoon mascot telling you this plant is safe. Every bush is a test, and you did not study. A prehistoric child standing nearby knows more than you. He knows which berry feeds you, which berry gives you stomach pain, which berry makes your tongue swell, and which berry turns you into a cautionary bedtime story. You, on the other hand, know how to microwave leftover pizza. Useful skill. Wrong planet. The tribe starts moving again, and you follow because these people saved you from becoming predator breakfast, so they are currently your best chance at not dying stupidly. At first you think they are taking you to food. For 1 second your stomach says, "Ah, finally." But prehistoric food delivery means the food is still alive and running 8 kilometers away. After 15 minutes your breathing changes. After 30 minutes your legs start complaining. After 1 hour your tongue is out like a tired dog, and you begin wondering if this is prehistoric survival or US Marine training with worse shoes. The hunters ahead of you barely look tired. They move over rocks, through brush, across mud, up slopes, down slopes, like the entire landscape is just a hallway in their house. You follow behind them, making sounds that no healthy adult should make. And this is not unrealistic. Modern hunter-gatherer research gives us a painful reference point. A 2021 study on the Hadza of Tanzania found that adult women averaged about 7.6 kilometers of walking per day, while men averaged about 12.9 kilometers. That does not mean prehistoric humans were exactly the same, but it shows what human foraging life can demand when the grocery store is not doing the walking for you. For them, walking long distances is normal life. For you, it is a fitness app achievement followed by emotional damage. By hour 4, your body is done. But the prehistoric group is just getting started. One person kneels near animal tracks. Another touches broken grass. Another smells the wind. Everyone suddenly becomes quiet. You also become quiet, but only because you are too tired to ask questions. They know something is nearby. You know your calves are on fire. Then they begin moving faster. This is the moment where every modern man who ever said, "I would just hunt," deserves to be dropped into the bushes and humbled. Because hunting is not just seeing an animal and deciding to become brave. A deer is not waiting for your character development. A wild horse is not standing there thinking, "I hope this man has a meaningful journey." These animals have been avoiding death since birth. They can hear you, smell you, outrun you, and disappear while you are still choosing a battle cry. Real prehistoric hunting was tracking, patience, wind direction, silence, endurance, teamwork, and weapon skill. It was not throw spear, get steak. It was a group project where the penalty for failing was hunger, injury, or getting turned into food yourself. The Schningen spears from Germany show how advanced this could be. These complete wooden hunting weapons found with animal remains reveal that ancient humans or their close relatives were making sophisticated tools and likely hunting in organized ways hundreds of thousands of years ago. These were not random sticks picked up 5 minutes before lunch. These were balanced weapons made by people who understood wood, weight, force, and animal movement. You pick up a stick anyway. It breaks. Nobody is surprised. Eventually, the hunters spot prey near open ground. They spread out. One signals. One moves behind trees. Another waits low with a spear. You stand there trying to look helpful, but your main contribution is sweating. The animals move. The hunters move. You move too late, step on a branch, and it cracks so loudly it might as well have shouted, "Modern idiot located." Every head turns. The prey runs. The hunters stare at you. No one says anything, but the silence is very multilingual. You have just ruined prehistoric lunch. Be honest, if you were in that tribe, would you forgive this modern idiot or leave him behind as predator bait? By hour 6, the tribe has not abandoned you, which is generous. But now hunger is serious. Your stomach is making noises like it is trying to communicate with nearby wildlife. The prehistoric child offers you a root. You inspect it like you are a food critic. He eats his. You eat yours. It tastes like dirt with ambition. But it is food. And suddenly you understand something. In prehistoric life, food is not entertainment. Food is not a craving. Food is not "I feel like Mexican tonight." Food is survival math. Every bite means someone knew where to look, when to dig, which plant to trust, how far to walk, and how to not die while getting it. That single ugly root contains more knowledge than your entire snack drawer. Then the smell of meat hits the air. The group finds an old kill site, or maybe scraps from a hunt. Everyone becomes alert, not excited. Alert, because meat is calories, but meat is also danger. Blood has a smell. bones have a smell, scavengers have opinions, and predators do not like sharing unless they are dead. This was a world where humans were not the only serious hunters. Research by Blair Van Valkenburg and colleagues in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences argued that large terrestrial carnivores had a major impact on Pleistocene ecosystems. In simple words, the ancient world had serious predators, and those predators shaped life around them. So when you smell meat, you smell dinner. They smell dinner plus possible death. A laugh-like sound comes from somewhere behind the rocks. Maybe hyena, maybe something worse. Your appetite immediately leaves the meeting. The tribe moves quickly. They take what they can. They watch the tree line. They do not waste time. They do not stand there debating seasoning. They know food is never just food. It is a race against everything else that wants the same calories. By hour 8, you try to make a tool. This is another modern mistake. Stone tools look simple because museums display them quietly behind glass, like they appeared by magic. But making one is not just smashing rocks like an angry toddler. You need the right stone, the right angle, the right force, and the ability to predict how the rock will break before it breaks. Prehistoric toolmaking was engineering with bare hands. You hit one rock with another. Nothing useful happens. You hit again. A sharp flake cuts your thumb. You drop both rocks and make a sound that instantly proves you are not from this time period. Now your thumb is bleeding. In modern life, this is annoying. You wash it, add antiseptic, put on a bandage, maybe act brave for sympathy. In prehistoric life, a small cut is not small. Dirt gets in it. Sweat gets in it. Flies find it. Your hands touch wood, stone, meat, mud, plants, and everything else that has never heard of hygiene. There is no pharmacy, no sterile bandage, no tetanus shot, no doctor saying, "This may sting a little," right before committing violence with an alcohol wipe. Your little cut has become a biological negotiation, and you are not winning. By sunset, you are exhausted in a way modern life rarely allows. Your feet hurt, your back hurts, your stomach is suspicious, your thumb is bleeding, your pants are emotionally damaged, your dignity is still somewhere near the stream. But now the real test begins. Night, modern night, is gentle. Lamps, locks, blankets, walls, a fridge glowing like a small temple of hope. Prehistoric night is not gentle. It arrives like a door closing. The temperature drops. The trees turn black. The sky becomes huge. Every sound gets louder because you cannot see what made it. And the worst part is, you came here thinking you were about to become the hero of some ancient survival story. Now look at you, pants torn from the predator attack, thumb bleeding from your failed rock experiment, face covered in mud, hair full of leaves, breathing like a broken accordion, and every prehistoric human around you staring like, who invited this useless creature? Your confidence is gone. Your dignity is gone. Your lunch is definitely gone. And suddenly your heart gets emotional for modern food. You remember burgers. You remember pizza. You remember fries arriving hot in a paper bag like a miracle. Back home you complained when delivery took 30 minutes. Here, you walked 8 kilometers, destroyed the hunt, and the only thing you earned was group disappointment. For a second you almost miss customer service. Suddenly a branch cracks. Everyone freezes. You freeze too, but only because they did. You have no idea what the sound means. They do. That is the difference. Prehistoric humans could read the night. They knew which calls mattered, which silence was suspicious, which wind meant weather, which smell meant animal, which direction to face, where children should sleep, how to keep fire alive, how to use smoke, hides, branches and bodies to hold heat. You know how to adjust a thermostat. There is no thermostat. Cold starts slowly. First you shiver, then your fingers stiffen, then your thinking slows. And when your thinking slows, everything becomes dangerous. You trip more. You panic more. You make worse decisions. During the last glacial maximum around 20,000 years ago, a University of Arizona-led team estimated the average global temperature was about 46 degrees Fahrenheit, or roughly 8 degrees Celsius. That is the average, not the worst night in the worst place. Depending on where you land, cold can be brutal. Without proper clothing, shelter, fire, and people who know what they are doing, night begins taking pieces of you. The tribe builds shelter with movements so practiced they almost look bored. Branches go here, hides go there, fire is fed, children are pulled closer. Someone checks the dark again, someone else handles food. Everyone has a role. You have no role. Your role is don't make it worse. Even that feels ambitious. By hour 18, someone hands you roasted meat. You almost cry. Not because it is gourmet. There is no sauce, no plate, no napkin, no friendly waiter asking if everything is tasting okay. But after a day of thirst, fear, walking, embarrassment, and suspicious routes, that meat feels like civilization. That is when you understand food differently. In modern life, food is everywhere. In prehistoric life, food is victory. Every bite is risk turned into calories. Every meal is teamwork. Every fire is technology. Every safe night is a miracle with smoke. This was not a world where humans casually lived. This was a world humans negotiated with every hour. And they were good at it. You were not. That is the point people miss. You would not fail because prehistoric people were stronger in some motivational poster way. You would fail because they knew the world and you do not. Their knowledge lived in the group. Water knowledge, plant knowledge, tool knowledge, animal knowledge, weather knowledge, injury knowledge, fire knowledge, silence knowledge. A prehistoric child could survive better than you because that child has the database. You arrived with none of it. Just modern confidence, soft hands, and pants that already lost a fight. By morning, if you are still alive, it is not because you conquered prehistoric Earth. It is because prehistoric humans adopted you for 24 hours out of pity, curiosity, or maybe entertainment. You are not the hero of the story. You are the weird, helpless animal they found near the stream. And honestly, they deserve a medal. Because in one day you drank questionable water, almost got eaten, nearly ate poison, ruined a hunt, cut your thumb making useless gravel, complained internally during an 8-kilometer walk, and required group support to not freeze. So would you survive 24 hours in prehistoric times? Maybe, if you landed in mild weather near a skilled group, and they decided you were too funny to abandon. Alone? Probably not. Because the scariest thing in prehistoric times is not one giant monster jumping from the dark. It is 1,000 small problems arriving in order. Bad water, wrong food, long walking, predators, cold, injury, no medicine, no shelter, no map, no group, no knowledge, and every single one looks simple until it starts killing you. That is why modern people misunderstand prehistoric life. They imagine one dramatic threat, a saber-toothed cat, a mammoth charge, a wolf pack in the moonlight. But the real killer might be a drink of water, a berry, a cut finger, a cold night, or walking 10 kilometers when your body thought life was mostly chairs. Prehistoric humans survived because they spoke the language of that world. They knew which water smelt wrong. They knew which berries to avoid. They knew when tracks were fresh. They knew how to move without announcing themselves to every predator nearby. They knew how to make tools, keep fire, share food, read weather, and listen when the forest changed tone. You know your Wi-Fi password. And that is useful in exactly 0 Ice Age emergencies. So here is the question. If you were dropped into prehistoric times with only one modern item, what would you choose? A lighter? A knife? A water filter? Antibiotics? Or would you be honest and choose a fully staffed grocery store with automatic doors? Because I respect that answer. But whatever you choose, the truth stays the same. Prehistoric survival was not about being tougher. It was about knowing the world so well that the world did not kill you by accident. And if you were dropped there tonight, the predators would not be the most embarrassing part. The embarrassing part would be watching a prehistoric child survive better than you. A child who knows which plants feed you, which sounds mean danger, which mud means animals passed recently, and why the silence near the water is not peaceful. That child would look at you, your bleeding thumb, your ripped pants, your dramatic breathing, and your dead confidence, and understand one thing immediately. You are not built for this world. You are just visiting, and prehistoric Earth does not like tourists.